Hey, this is another Lift and Lead podcast. I'm your host, Judd Parker. So over the last couple of episodes, I've been talking a lot about the people that make a difference here at Barnhart. Obviously, our tools are phenomenal. They're the cool tools that make us go, but the people drive the tools, and having those people on board are super important. In today's episode, we have two heavy hitters in the talent acquisition and people development roles here at Barnhart. We have Kevin Stout and Mallory Bond. Hey, welcome to the show, guys. So
glad to be here, Judd.
Thank you. You know, we talk a lot about people. Over the last several episodes, we've talked a lot we had David Clark on, super cool field guy, great perspective. We've had conversations with our new CEO, David Webster. Mm-hmm. But, you know, again, I always say people are kind of the heart of who we are and, you know, what we do. The equipment's cool. All the cool tools, all the neat red iron, all those innovative things that Eric has come up with over the years. Fantastic. But they all operate with people. And I know moving forward, there's been a lot of concern and conversations about where do we get resources? The workforce is dying out to a certain degree. So again, we have our recruiting director here, Malory Bond, and Kevin Stout, who's VP of not human capital anymore. Now we're calling it people development,
yep.
Which is a little bit of a different role. I want to talk to you a little bit about that as we
yep.
go through today, about what that looks like.
Yep.
Because we used to say human capital, and that's kind of an old phrase, right?
Yeah.
Kind of an old passe thing to
yep.
say, I guess.
But. Yeah. I mean, I think the design, even around the title, is motivated by the purpose. You know, that's embedded within our purpose is a perspective that we're here to develop people to use their gifts and skills for constructive work.
Right.
And so I think even the title is in alignment with the purpose of the company.
So is that like counselor, or is that more of a creator of strategy? Like, do people come to you and say, I need help with my career, almost like a guidance counselor is kind of what I think when I think of people development?
Yeah. I don't have a couch in my office. I
thought you did.
We'll go ahead and answer that one. But I think it's a combination of both. The degree to which this role, our efforts are successful, is the degree to which the branches are successful in their efforts. The things that we're starting, the things that we're promoting, the things that we've used from the past as tools to engage individuals in such a way that they can thrive in the moment. There may be things you just need to vent about. You know, are we good at that?
So that's the counselor part.
Yeah, that's the counselor part. But there are some things that we have learned from other companies, that we're learning from other groups, that we can incorporate. Does it look like a program? Does it look like something that we're doing? Yeah, there's going to be more of that.
Right.
And I think it has a place in a good mixture. So counselor or creator, I think it's a little bit of both, that we all need to be aware of that.
Yeah, I think that's like most roles here at Barnhart. We're not very linear, I would say. We have multiple functions. I think all of us do. And one of the things that you've got on your plate now as recruiting director or director of recruiting is plugging all these new people in, getting them a place to basically change kind of the way we've structured our hiring process a little bit.
Yeah.
Added a bigger team. Mm-hmm. Kevin, actually, you work for Kevin, right?
I do, yes.
Right. So some runway there about how we do that. So tell me, what's recruiting like, and why is it so important for a company like Barnhart?
For sure. So I'll start with why recruiting is so important. I mean, at the end of the day, people are the engine of any business. Right. So, you know, like you mentioned, we can have all of the cool tools, all the equipment, but the heart of the company is truly the people and the culture. So, you know, we can have the best of the best, but it's the people that matter. And I think that's where Barnhart does such a great job at really representing and having that positive culture from a people perspective. And how we do that from a recruitment department is we've shifted a little bit over the last 12 months in terms of what we're doing and how we're going about trying to find people, realistically, more support to the branches. So we've developed a new system where we're having detailed intake conversations with hiring managers. We want to understand, what is your business? How can we support it as best as possible? So we are pre-vetting candidates that actually meet what they're looking for, and we understand the roles a little bit better. We're not just going off of a job description that we could maybe try and make our own, in our own mind, what we think that might be or who might be successful. We're going to the experts. We're going to the branches. We're becoming...
They know it. They know what they need,
exactly.
Right? You don't, I mean, I think that was one of the things that's been always hard is that the branches know what they need. It's hard for somebody outside any part of their organization to really fully grasp what the role is unless they tell you exactly what that is.
Yeah. And I've always told, all of our business partners, I might not be an expert at your job, but I'm an expert at recruiting.
Right.
So if you equip me with what you're looking for and we have that understanding, I will do everything that I can and the recruiting team can to make sure that we fulfill that business need. So by becoming more of a business partner versus, looking at a fulfillment need and just trying to go off of what we think is what the business needs, is really how we're trying to level up our game.
You've used that term several times, partner, business partner, not just branch manager or somebody out there, not just a contact. I mean, it's really a deal, right? I mean, it's a relationship that you're trying to build with the team.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's cool. What makes it difficult, do you think?
Well, we're dealing with people.
It's a broad subject. Right?
Yes.
Theme of this podcast.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yeah.
People are very unpredictable. There's a lot of moving pieces when we're looking at, okay, what skills does this individual have to have? Personality, culture fit, making sure that we get all of that right. The business is constantly changing. The market is changing. What people are expecting is changing.
Sure.
So it makes it almost like a chess game to try and find those perfect people and to align everything so that it kind of matches.
That's the creator part, though, that helps.
Yeah.
Strategy, not just a siloed department running independently. There's strategy to what we're doing here.
For sure. Yeah, absolutely.
Cool. And I would say it's an investment of time also that has been worth it, meaning even the intake forms that you're talking about. To set that up right, it's a 30-minute conversation. Who in their day has 30 minutes to say, yeah, I don't have anything going on.
Yep.
And so it's an investment
that
you've heard over and over again. I'm so glad we did that. It helped in the long run.
Sure.
And so that strategy hopefully helps make us more efficient. Efficient, yes. Effective is what we're after. And so I think that's what we're beginning to see.
That process takes a while. I mean, I've actually done it too with your team. And there are a lot of really cool questions that they ask that they're experts at that. So I may not have even thought about that element or aspect of something. I need somebody to do this.
Yep.
And we forget that there's people involved. There's things that are going on that we really need to apply that. So
absolutely.
Who's on your staff? I mean, your staff is their staff, but let's talk about your staff. I mean, how many people do you have in your department under you?
Yeah. So,
and then I'd like to find out how this plays out.
Sure. Yeah.
So under me, I have 2 recruiters or talent consultants and 1 talent acquisition staffing support administrator.
So we don't really call it recruiting either, right? So we went from human capital to people development. We went from recruiting to
talent acquisition.
Yes.
Yeah.
Is that a Canadian term or a U.S. term?
That's
an industry term.
That is a global term. Thank you very much.
We're going to talk about the Oilers here in a minute.
And which today is the first day of the season.
It's the first Oilers game. Yeah.
Which is the first day of the season.
Of course, it doesn't start until the Oilers play.
Yeah,
okay,
that's right.
sorry.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yes, so we have 3 consultants, otherwise known as recruiters, and we have 1 staffing support admin. the staffing support admin, because a lot of people are wondering, what does that person do? That is our lovely KQ. She does all of our offer letter generation. She handles any drug and alcohol or pre-employment testing requirements, a lot of the heavy admin work on the back end that people often don't think about that go into hiring people. Right. She is kind of the heart of all of those requirements.
She's a busy bee, man. She always on it too, right? Yeah. She's all over it.
And she does that so that it frees up our consultants to actually do what they need to do, and that's talk to people, invest in Makes people, sense. Get into that human element.
Sure. Mm-hmm. So you kind of oversee as VP, you oversee this group. Yep. Do you have anybody on your staff that works specifically for you? I mean, other than Malory and her team, how many people do you oversee?
Yeah. So recruiting department, part of the reporting structure, the training department as well. People touch
our first podcast, by the
first
way.
podcast. That's right. Carrie and Caleb in here.
Caleb and Carrie.
And Kevin Sherman, and Daniel. And Daniel is behind the screens over here. Yes.
Daniel keeps us on track. Thank goodness for Daniel.
And so the recruiting team, training, and then also there's a few individuals that are involved in people development and cares efforts. Specifically, I can talk about that a little bit. But Jeff Swanson, who's with us for a long time, is in that role with us. Paul Metler, that has worked with the Knoxville branch for several years. He's in a full-time role with us. Philip Holiday is also. And so
it's so good to have Jeff Swanson back a little bit.
Yeah, great guy.
Old stalwart dude.
Yeah, been around for a long time, had so many different roles in the company, and is adding value in a way that's just unique to Jeff.
We talked to David Clark in one of our last podcasts, and if it wasn't for Jeff connecting David, we wouldn't have Decatur branch 002 in our system. So it's amazing the connectivity that these guys have.
That's right. Yeah. And so that's the structure. And so Jeff and Paul and Philip are involved in mentoring relationships, are involved in some of the Wild Spark groups that we have.
Is that still continuing program?
Yeah, it is. We're in a phase right now where we're talking about a way to relaunch it in a meaningful way.
Right.
It's been around for 6 or 7 years. It's a great tool, a great resource, and I think we just need to recapture, make sure that those that are leading feel equipped and ready to be able to do so. But it really has been a fairly low investment time-wise with a high return. And so because of that, we love it. We're committed to it, and we'll continue to use that tool. It's been a good one.
So part of the reason we do this podcast is to introduce you guys. Again, we've grown so much. I think one of the first things I said about the Lift and Lead podcast was it was going to be a medium, a vehicle for connectivity from the small little branch and culture we were to this big new, basically North American company. And so we want to introduce you guys to our audience. So I want to ask some questions about y'all personally, right? So we obviously know by the accent that not all of us are from the Southeast. So Malory, she is, I was going to say, but you're real, I was going to say from the South, but you're not, no, you're actually from Nova Scotia?
I am, yes.
Nova Scotia. There's a great story I can tell you about Nova Scotia, but where in the world is Nova Scotia?
So Nova Scotia is on the far east coast of Canada, sits on the Atlantic Ocean. So I am from an island called Cape Breton Island.
Oh, you're an island girl.
Yes, I am.
Island girl.
Yes. No palm trees. Definitely not in the island that I'm coming from. No.
I love it.
But in a town called Sydney, Nova Scotia. So I lived in Nova Scotia for 21 years and then spent the last 10 years living in Edmonton, Alberta. And then, of course, made the move south of the border.
I've got to tell my Nova Scotia story. So
I'll validate it.
You couldn't. So it's not about Nova Scotia, but a great friend of ours, whose wife, not a basketball, not an athletic person, not a sports lover whatsoever. Mm-hmm. I don't even know who was playing Villanova. But it was, let's just say it was North Carolina against Villanova. And she comes through the den and she looks up and it says like NC and Nova. And she's like Villanova. and she said, I didn't know Nova Scotia had a college basketball team.
Who did?
So I always think that. Do y'all even know? Do y'all play basketball, or is it all hockey?
Yeah, we do play basketball, but for sure hockey is Canada's game. So
Yeah. Do y'all have football? Do y'all do anything other than
So we have the Canadian Football League.
it's not football.
Yeah, we do not have college football.
National soccer teams, men and women, have been solid of late.
Yes, we
Yeah.
do, but
Yeah.
hockey is our claim to fame.
So if y'all don't know anything about Malory, let's go ahead and get it on the table. I think she is the number one Edmonton Oiler fan, certainly at Barnhart, maybe in the Southeast currently. Talk a little bit about your move from Nova Scotia, Nova, not Villanova, Nova Scotia
Yes.
to Edmonton, right?
Yes.
Okay.
So I actually credit my fandom of the Oilers to my husband because I was not a hockey fan growing up at all. I did not.
Could never tell.
No, I did not. I did not even watch a full hockey game until I moved to Edmonton. When I moved, he said, I'm a huge Edmonton Oilers fan. There's 82 games a year. I watch every single one of them. So you can either participate and watch or I'm
Be involved
basically,
or not, right?
yeah, I'm giving you a warning. And I said, okay, no problem. And of course, when you live in a town that does have the sport, it is very different. So we would start to, of course, the games would be on and I would catch myself watching, but it really wasn't until we actually started going to the games.
Oh, they're wild.
It's a
aren't they?
different experience.
Yeah.
Any live sporting event is definitely a lot easier to become attached to the players. And then
Sure.
before I knew it, it was, oh, I like that guy, or he's chippy, I like him. So organically just started to develop. And I'm naturally a very competitive person anyway. And yes, I'm sure a lot of people know that have spoken to me. And I do like the chippiness in hockey. It is definitely a different sport. You're allowed to fight. There's a lot more nice violence, let's say.
Nice, right? Yeah.
So
modified violence, right?
Yes. So
Yeah, and I can actually say that I now know what icing is because of Steven.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Yeah,
right?
so yes, I was watching the Oilers game last year, and they kept calling it icing, and I was like, what is this? And so I texted Malory and Steven and said, can you explain this to me? And now I know.
Well, see, I'm a Florida Panthers fan, and so I knew she was an addict when Lori and I were actually out at dinner and Edmonton was playing the Panthers. And like the first goal, I got this meme of John Cena going, woo! And I knew like I was in trouble, right? Like she's so competitive. All right, so here's a good trivia question. So how many Edmonton Oiler branded logo things clothing wise do you have?
Oh,
I heard this number the other day. I was taken totally aback.
Okay, so clothing, I can't count because there's a lot. But jerseys, specific Oilers jerseys, I do have 7. It's a lot.
Wow.
Yeah.
Which one's your favorite?
Probably my Mike Smith jersey. He is former goalie.
Yeah.
Favorite player by far. So
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Yeah.
Now, you were a sports guy too, right? Did you play sports in school? Where'd you go to school?
I grew up in Kingsport, so shout out to the Kingsport
Yeah, Gino
fellas.
and the team.
And but grew up there and went to college at Tennessee Tech, and
That's
so
right.
but I grew up playing basketball, primarily baseball though.
Did you know that David Clark was a college basketball player?
He told me that.
Isn't that
Yes,
crazy?
yeah.
I would have never believed that.
That's impressive. I would have loved to seen that ponytail bouncing up and down the court. That would have been fantastic.
Well, the Parkers never played any pro sports at all. So, married though, you got a bunch of kids too.
Yeah, just celebrated. Yeah, we do.
It's a Barnhart tradition.
Yeah. We just celebrated our 24th anniversary
Congratulations.
a few weeks back, and 4 kids. Our oldest just got engaged also.
He's the one with the very cool name?
She.
Sorry, not
Yeah.
the one that the cool name is. Go ahead.
Yeah. So oldest is a girl, and then 3 boys as well. Coley Stout, and so she's this fun era that we're in, and we're excited about that. And then another son that's in college, and then 2 that are in high school. Youngest one is playing football this year. It's first for him. It's been fun to see that. But yeah, we're
And what's the one I'm wanting? Which one to see?
we have our son is Judson Parker Stout.
I love it.
And so
no relation,
yeah,
no contact, no connectivity there. How odd is that? Judson is such a unique name to combine with the last name. I had nothing to do with your wife.
Yeah.
Now you said you're very competitive too, and I thought this was a very cool. I loved all these little stats about people. You just never know till you start sitting down and talking to people about who they are and what they are and where they come from. You find out that Malory was a amateur CrossFit champ.
Mm-hmm.
We were an amateur competitive CrossFit athlete.
Yes. And like handstand push-ups, she can crush, pull-ups.
Yes.
All the squats, cleans.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. You were quite the athlete.
Yes.
Still doing it?
We are.
You just told me you could beat me in handstand push-ups. That's a very low bar. Okay, understand. I don't even think I can do
Next
a handstand
podcast, Judd does push-ups.
Yes.
Maybe we should. Maybe we should do a little athletic competition.
I like that.
It could be like, what was that? You're too young. What was that when we were growing up? The Superstars or something like that?
American Gladiators?
No, that was interesting too.
Yeah.
No, I'm thinking about the. It was like a something with the stars, and the guys would come out. They would do an obstacle course, and it was like during the 80s and 90s. That really is dating me probably more than anything.
I'm sure I watched it, but I'm struggling.
It's
It's
cool.
more of like the American Ninja Warrior.
Yeah, very similar, but those are like really athletes. This was like welcome back Cotter kind of guy doing it, So totally different.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do that for a podcast. That would be kind of cool.
That would be fun.
All right. So anyway, back to kind of where we were. So there's a lot of elements to finding people. I talked a little bit at the beginning of our discussion about the realization that it's not everybody's falling into the trades like they used to and want to pursue construction type management, or I think home building and things like that. Everybody kind of has a lure to do that. If you're a guy going to school, maybe busting out and wanting to be a contractor. But really, in our world, it's fewer and fewer people, it seems to me. Is that true?
It is, yeah. A lot of the trades we're now experiencing, it is an aging industry. There are a lot more people retiring than there are entering the workforce. And, there's a lot, this day and age, there's a lot of options for people to work. AI has really blown up and has given people the opportunity to do things that they never would have gotten a chance to do previously. Right. So it is a very competitive industry. And really what we need to focus on is getting to the heart of kids in school. We need to start actually presenting the trades as a viable opportunity for growth, for career progression, for compensation, all of kind of the good stuff, so that they know
the good stuff, the money stuff,
of course, so they know before they actually start to make their decisions, because there is a lot of competition out there. And I think kids are exposed, social media at a very young age now, so they're being fed all kinds of things that they can do, and we just need to be at the forefront of the trades are still a very, very good career option. To make sure that, as we grow in our industry, that we're continuing to get people and to have them.
But somebody's got to preach that gospel, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, because right now, like you say, they're inundated with things on their phone and things in their face. And we need to be championing our side of the conversation, I would say, probably too.
I had an interesting conversation last week, because when I hear that question, so many more options exist today than 10, 20, 50 years ago, career-wise. Humanity has not changed, though. There are still people that love working with these things.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
And I had an interesting conversation last week with some folks that were talking about an iron worker in their branch that's doing a great job. Is safe, successful, is taking steps forward. He has a nursing degree. He went to school, got a degree in that, and said, that's still not where I think I can thrive. And he moved into being an iron worker.
Wow.
And I think, and my question as we look at today, are we going to see more of that as we move forward? Because humanity has not changed. People's disposition has not changed. Options, yeah, there's further things out there, but are we going to be happy with how we're made?
Right.
Am I going to still want to work with these things
Sure.
when I move forward?
Some people are definitely skilled that way.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Bent
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah.
Not so much in the, I think we all, like, I certainly didn't know what I wanted to do going through school. My kids
Yeah.
changed. I guess my daughter kind of stayed on a straight course. JT actually works here. Nurse too, by the way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now working for Barnhart. So yeah, there's alternatives. That's a great point. I never really thought about that, but we're the same folks.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know Mike Rowe, you see him kind of talking about championing having a trade future. They just need to be exposed to. There is great compensation here. There is great
Yep.
work-life balance if required, if worked out. I mean, it's pretty cool that way.
Yeah. That's right.
Let's shift a little bit with you. So I know one of the things that I was talking about on one of the last podcasts was we had a great summer summit. It was phenomenal. The Echelon Front guys were here. And we did a survey after that. And one of the big questions was, what are we doing next with
Yep.
them?
Yeah.
And so I kind of teased along that Kevin Stout,
Yeah.
our VP of People Development, is listening, and which you were.
Yep.
And we're now going to do something with them. We're still kind of working that out. You want to
Yeah.
talk a little bit about that while we got a chance?
Yeah, we really did enjoy having Echelon Front with us, and we're still putting the finishing touches on how to follow up with that. But I think that there's an opportunity as we look toward the future, the near future, for some things that we can do with field leaders specific to this, some different groups, some discussions. Echelon Front has different resources, and so there's some things yet to come,
Right.
but that will be worked out very shortly. So we're excited about it.
Man, their message
Yep.
and their list of informational, what am I trying to say? Places to go and pull and
Yep.
withdraw that information is endless. I mean, they have musters, they have online things, they have things for fee, things without fee, books. Again, I get every week, I get this thing called the Rundown from Leif Babin, who is
Yep.
Jocko Willink's partner. Can't even talk today. Partner. And it's always got a message. In fact, I used it today on the project call just about, how to not lose your mind when things change in the mix. Uncertainty is going to happen in their life as a military guy, in our life as a project team or as a recruiting team, talent acquisition team.
Mhm.
Things are going to change. And so we can't just wait and lock down for all the information. Anyway, I say all that to say, really cool. Looking forward to seeing how that plays out and seeing what we can't do with that.
Yep.
That'll be really important.
Yeah.
Another thing I wanted to talk to you about is we just got through, I think, with the survey.
Yep.
And I wanted to know how we did on that. I want to know if we're getting good responses from the teams.
Yeah.
I kind of want to throw that up on the table and see what it's like.
Yeah. We it's been something we've been on for, I think, 7 years now. And we've heard for 7 years the benefit that's come from hearing from people in a confidential fashion. And what that's provided for is an opportunity for people to get feedback on what needs to change and at the same time what's going well. We did just wrap it up. We used a new tool this year called Qualtrics, software that maintains all the confidentiality and that we've described before. But synthesizes all that into what are the themes, where are the hot spots, what can we tweak, how do we compare against others as well, just so that we can know, in light of continuous improvement, what are the steps that we need to take forward. Our response rate this year, we had 42% respond.
That's really good.
Yeah.
That seems low, but that's really good. Compared to some years.
Compared to some years, it is. We did... if we can get some email distribution situations worked out, and we've got a conversation, those of us that were helping administer this, even on Friday, about what can we do differently? How can we get the messaging right and out more clearly? Because we want to hear, we'd love to have the experts would say 65 to 85% of the
Sure.
average company would respond. And so that's what we're trying to strive for. The senior leaders are meeting next week to really take a deep dive into this. And so much more will come. We're just in the early stages of seeing what's emerged. But the senior leaders are gathering to discuss, to act on, because that was one of the questions. Is there confidence that from this survey, action will come? It has been the case in the past, and it's going to continue to be the case. And so that's what we're excited about. And thank you for those that participated. Those that didn't, the opportunity will emerge next year again.
Right.
But yeah, it's been a great, helpful resource for us for years now.
Yeah, that's neat. Now, two things I think that came to my head when you were saying that. Is that, by the way, is that an AI function of being able to distill that information better now?
They do incorporate heavy AI.
Yeah, it's crazy
functions,
how that works.
and so it is crazy. If I tried to explain it to you, I would struggle because it's a bunch of smart people in a room figuring out how to do this well.
Well, and I think what you said too is we as a company probably need to do a better job of getting the word out to our field guys.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do you contact them? I think we struggle with that a lot in our communication process sometimes with just kind of driving everything from top down, and that may not be the right thing. I know James Taylor did a great job talking about the summit again, of like, we made phone calls to those guys one-on-one, and we had a great turnout. And it was because we channeled a different way to go after them. We just didn't send a blast or put it on load line. We actually got in their back pocket and said, hey, we need you to come to this thing. So maybe that's, of course we asked for that too. So anyway, I just wanted to throw that out there. I know that's kind of can be a sacred cow kind of thing, and we want to like walk around it, but that's what this podcast is for, is to talk about that. Hopefully it's an avenue that will instill some moxie to say, hey, I do want to have some input. You can't, what do they always say? Don't come with just a problem and no solution. I mean, if you think there's something wrong here, tell us what's wrong. Tell us what you don't like. I mean, we're here to help try to make your work life better and make our company more successful. And if you've got ideas, man, we want to hear those things. So
I would also say to that point, for those that maybe didn't participate in the survey, don't wait until next year. Give your feedback to your immediate supervisor, to your branch manager, to Kevin in people development. It doesn't have to wait until a survey is rolled out. So
I guess it's always open, right? You can always.
I mean, technically it's not closed, but we have to come to a finish point to draw conclusions. And so if you've still got that link, you can still fill it out. But we need to begin to act on what 1,007 people have already given us information on.
Do we have like an email address for like complaints? You know, like you got the complaint box. I mean, I'm saying,
that's jparker at barhartcrane.com is that email address. Yes,
no, I'm serious. I know, open can of worms. I got it. I'm saying though, I mean, you know, like when we were growing up, you had a comment box or complaint box. You know, service sucked, click. You know, and I don't want to do that, but I'm saying, is there an avenue for the guys that, let's say they have a problem? I didn't get that on the survey. I'm hearing this podcast for the first time. I want to do something different with this. Do we have an email that we can send this to and say, I really feel strongly about, and this is the solution I have?
I don't know if we have something like that, Judd.
At minimum, human resources at barnhartcrane.com.
Yeah, if there's varied levels of issue or complaint, you can take it in different directions. But if it's an idea, I feel strongly that we need to do something with this, that probably, I mean, the suggestion box that you talked about, that could be part of the solution. But we want to maintain the confidentiality when somebody has that. That's where HR could come in as well, as we're talking about. But it depends on, I guess, the issue. But bottom line, reach out. You know, if you have an idea, if you feel strongly about something, there's an opportunity to do something better.
I guess you lose your anonymity when you shoot an email.
So there's ways to approach that. I think we need to be thoughtful.
Well, if that's a good point too. If there was something that was really egregious in your work life, I mean, that's a different thing. I'm not talking about that as much as I'm just saying this process is weak. I think I can bolster it by doing these things. Can we do that? That's kind of cool. So what are we going to see in the future, Mr. Strategy Guy?
You know, I think one of the things that we're working on right now is started with David Webster and his direct reports 2 years ago, where they really took a hard look at themselves, and did a 360 evaluation, heard from others, and systematically worked through goals to be different people. Mm. There's groups like that of different leaders. Some of his direct reports, regional directors, branch managers are beginning to do this. We're calling it next level leadership groups, where we are looking at ourselves in the mirror. Who am I? What am I doing well? What could I be doing differently? And I'm going to set goals that affect the business, yes, but also at the same time thinking, how am I going to be a better person?
Yeah.
The combination of that is where the real goal is, and that's where the real effort is. But we're beginning to roll this out more broadly to get to the branch leadership teams in the future, very near future. And so we're excited about that. WildSpark, we talked about that. That's a great tool that I think can be used more broadly. It's kind of ebbed and flowed over the years. We want to put more effort toward that. But I think it's not coming from the service center. The answer to your question is if it resides here, we failed. But the degree to which people are being equipped, encouraged, mentored in the branches and are able to more confidently lead in various ways, that's what success is.
Right.
And so that's what we're hopeful for. That's what we're excited about. And the team is working toward that end. My Barnhart is another one. The first podcast that we had,
that's right.
There's varied aspects of training that are specific to us, that are customized to how we learn today, that are usable in such a way that we're really getting, frankly, too many requests at this point in time to properly execute on all those. And so what we're looking at is how do we prioritize? Field leader development is the biggest goal of the company.
Absolutely.
And because of that, that's what we're prioritizing. What are the ways that we can encourage that using a tool? My Barnhart is not a silver bullet. It's not the solution. What the solution is can we facilitate a systematic conversation that still happens on the back of the tailgate when somebody has a frustrating day or has a question about a tool or management of change, and how do we address this? How do I interact with the customer? We can systematize some of that, but that face-to-face interaction that happens all over the country, all over Canada, all over North America, we can't substitute that. That's where the real goal is.
That's I think you nail on the head. That's what makes Barnhart so different, I think, than most companies.
Yeah.
I mean, I hear it from friends in other work arenas, family in other work areas. That really kind of nailed it.
Yeah.
That's pretty powerful.
Yep.
Going back to what you said, nail on the head for sure, but we've got great people leading us through that. I really appreciate what you do. I mean, I stop and think about that. I think Alan has brought us so far along, and now David at the helm and John and all these folks that really have our best interest in mind, but to put the right people involved in the leadership roles that we've not really ever had before, or not really ever had as robust as we got right now. And that's what's going to make a difference for us. And I thank y'all for doing that, but I can't let y'all get out of here. I got to know, I asked Malory, I told her, I said, all right, so when we do this, I'm going to have some questions for you, and we're going to kind of talk very casually about stuff. But one of the things I wanted to know is, what was the biggest difference moving from Canada to the U.S.? I'm not going to say. Go ahead.
Well, I understand where you were going with this.
Probably going to tell you it anyway.
The biggest difference, I mean, the climate. We don't have winter here. No. I'm sorry for the people that say, sure we do. No, you don't. No, we don't. So the climate is definitely the biggest difference, I would say.
But we do have weather.
Yes, we do.
I'm going to tell a story. So So when Malory did her interviews here, she may have even said this to you too. I think she said it to everybody.
Yes.
It was so funny. So the biggest thing that she was concerned with was, do you really have tornadoes down here? And I'm like, well, of course we have. We're in Tornado Alley. Of course we have tornadoes. And then I said, no, they really, I mean, maybe one or two threatening things a year. And lo and behold, like she moves down here, and this whole spring of 2025,
Worst spring we've had.
Wow, the sirens are going off every week, and I mean, I was texting her like when she first moved here. I'm like, "Are y'all okay? Y'all freaking out?" She's
Between
like
you,
bunkered down in the helmet.
David, Cynthia, David's wife, she's an angel. Kevin, John Moore, literally every second person in the service center would stop by my office. First, jokingly, to say, "You got any tornadoes?" Art Porter gives me a hard time about it all the time.
Love it.
But then actually to follow up with like, "Are you okay?"
Because it was a really bad season.
Yeah.
Yes.
Nothing ever happened, but they were close.
I have
Yeah.
never had to get into a closet and fear for my life before, okay? I told our friends back in Canada, I now know I've never feared for my life before this spring.
Yeah.
And yes, when you're in a room with your
Locked down
dogs
and the
and your
dogs.
spouse, and there's a man on the news saying, "Yeah, one's just touched down and it's like 10 miles from your house," that is a different feeling that you have.
Mhm.
So,
It's unlike hurricanes or snowstorms, where you get a little bit more of a.
mhm.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
So I asked you what was different. What do you miss the most? Don't say snow.
No. Aside from, our friends in Edmonton, because our
Sure.
family is all back in Nova Scotia. Yeah, we do miss the hockey team. I do miss the hockey team. It's very different when you live in a city. And for those of you that live in, whether it's a hockey market or a big football market, the city comes alive.
Sure.
And the camaraderie and just being able to, during playoff season when we'd go on a deep playoff run. I remember 2 years ago, we were rollerblading one day because, again, we like to just get outside and do active things. And we were both wearing our Oilers jerseys and it was game day. And the amount of people that would like me when they're driving by
That's
you
awesome.
is it's just so fun.
Yeah.
And it's a little sad. I was telling Kevin, I don't try to think about it until you watch the games, you watch the home games. This is going to be
Right.
obviously our first home opener that we don't get to go to. So it's a little bittersweet, but we're of course very happy to be here.
Good.
But
We're super thankful that you are here.
Mhm.
We
I
really
appreciate
do
that.
value you being here and your team. You've put together a really strong team.
they're amazing.
They are. What can we do to help you? Now, not as Malory in the tornado watcher,
Uh-huh.
but Malory
Business.
yeah. How can we help support your team and your efforts?
I think, keeping in tone with pretty much everything that makes business run is just, we need communication.
Yeah.
We need feedback. We need to know, what we're doing well, what you'd like to see improvement on from our team, because
Suggestion box.
we're still learning as well. And I tell everybody that I speak to, I want to know good, bad, and ugly.
Sure.
And if you're heated and you have some bad feedback, like, call me. Don't call my team. I'm totally fine with that.
Extreme ownership.
Absolutely.
That's right.
So, I think as long as we maintain that communication, the relationships will naturally flourish and we'll know how to be that good business partner. And at the end of the day, if you communicate with us, we'll do everything that we can to support you.
One thing I would add also is, historically, this is true not just for us, but for so many other people in recruiting and talent acquisition, we're trying to create pipelines. We're trying to have, we want to see more people come that can see a long-term trajectory here. Oftentimes, the best fits are those that come from people that already work with us. And so what I would say also,
We just talked about this.
yeah, referrals
Yes.
that come from people that are here, that are informed, see the opportunities. I would say just encourage folks to, if you're enjoying your time here, which again, the survey said that we have room to grow, yes, but we're higher in the industry, we're higher in the global market. We're very happy about that. Do something with it.
Right.
Bring others along with us.
And I truly do think from a referral perspective, one of the biggest pieces of feedback that we get when we try and talk about referrals is the standard answer is, everybody that I know is already working.
Oh, yeah.
And that's fine. We're not necessarily asking for people to go out and say, I have a job at Barnhart. Do you want it?
Right.
It's truly the networking, the pipelining side of things. So
concentric rings.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Somebody that you know may not be looking for a job, but somebody they know might be. And if we're not even promoting Barnhart, and I mean, for the most part, usually the referrals that we get on our team, it's truly organic.
Sure.
Because it's, oh, John told me how great it was to work here. He didn't tell me about a job. He just told me how
About
great
the
it was to
company
work
itself.
here.
Right.
We consistently get, I just want to work for Barnhart because I hear it's such a great company to work for.
Right.
And I will, you're going to tell your Nova Scotia story. I'll tell you a little story about
I can't wait to hear this.
about when I was contemplating moving here, because it was a big decision to make.
Yeah.
And I'm not a social media poster. I'm not a Reddit person. But I went out on a limb and I said, I'm going to create an anonymous Reddit account and I'm going to ask a question on Reddit because I know that I'm going to get honest feedback. And my question was, received a job opportunity, considering moving to Memphis, currently located in Alberta, Canada. Kept it as vague as possible, did not mention company name, nothing.
Oh, I'm scared to even hear what this is going to be.
And I'm fully prepared to only receive negative. I am. The amount of responses, people are smart. They put it together pretty quickly. Oh, you're from Alberta, but you're looking to move to Memphis. Barnhart just bought NCSG
Wow.
in Canada, so you must be going to Barnhart. And pretty quickly, people were like, Barnhart. So the amount of responses that I received saying, Barnhart is an amazing company to work for. Alan Barnhart is an amazing man. I've worked for Barnhart for 10 years, or my son works for Barnhart. And I said to my husband, because I jokingly, when I came down for my interview, I said, everybody is really nice. And I feel like maybe they're putting a show on to get us here.
Right.
And I said, they're actually that nice. They're actually who they say they are, which is sometimes difficult to interpret in a corporate world. You wonder if there's smoke and mirrors, and there really wasn't. Like,
That's
for a
cool.
stranger to post their opinion, their positive opinion about our organization is unheard of.
That is crazy.
So it just goes to show the referral just drives, the culture and just reinstates everything that we're trying to say about who we are and who we want to be.
That's a killer story. All right, so I always like to end with a couple of fun questions, kind of like get in and see who you really are kind of thing. So tell me, what was the last good book you read? Don't tell me a workbook. Unless that's all you read.
I'm listening to right now, thematic to
Same
this.
thing.
Yeah, same thing. Dichotomy of Leadership.
That's a good one.
Yeah, it's a good one. I just finished prior to that a book called Legacy, which was about the All Blacks, the rugby team, the New Zealand national rugby team, and their
Cool.
high standards that they have. So that's kind of the themes. I'm not a fiction guy. I've tried.
Really?
I just can't get there.
Man, Jack Carr, James Reese, that's a great series. Sorry, I'm giving a plug. Thank you, Jack Carr. You can send me books, please. That's kind of the Navy SEAL thing. Maybe that's just me. I traveled always. What about you? Do you do any books?
Yes, I can't do fiction either. I solely read, so bad, celebrity autobiographies. I don't know why. I want to know a little bit about the life. I sometimes like the messier the life, the better. Oh. I'm currently reading,
the world is full of that.
Totally.
An endless stream of stuff to
Absolutely. I'm
That's
currently
fun. I would
reading
never pick that up from you.
Paris Hilton's book,
Oh, wow.
which I did not realize some of the hardships that she went through. It was actually jarring to go into a book and think about this pop little girl that just probably doesn't have a head on her shoulders, and to hear her story. So it's really cool. Other impactful ones, Matthew Perry's autobiography was amazing. Matthew McConaughey. So pretty much as soon as an autobiography comes out, even if I like the person, don't know the person.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I don't think I could do that.
Yeah.
I read kind of all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm the guy that has like 8 books stacked up, 3 chapters out of that one, and then I'll find another one, and I'll park that one and pick this one up. And I like history stuff. I know that's really boring too, but I love fiction. Yeah, you can flood me with fiction.
Yep.
Anyway, okay, great. That's always fun to hear. We were laughing about that. So, who is your favorite comedian? You wouldn't tell me a minute ago. Who's your favorite comedian? Now that we're live and running.
Oh, at the moment, it's hard to say. I'm going to get a lot of backlash, but back in my day...
Another Canadian?
No, back in my day, it was Dane Cook. He's not as big as he used to be, but I absolutely love him. But I will say I do love Dave Chappelle.
Yeah, he's funny.
Yeah.
I have to admit it's one of my funny ones there. So anyway, Kevin, last question for you is, how long have you been here? Number one.
13 years.
That's all?
That's it. Yeah.
Golly, it seems like you've been here for a long time.
Yeah.
13 years is a long time.
Yeah.
I got that.
Yeah.
So, and you've done a lot of things for us. What's next on the horizon for Kevin Stout?
This.
You're having a great impact in this
Yeah.
role. Please let's paint this picture. It's very cool.
It's this, Judd. I mean, and I say that at the risk of being overly introspective. I turned 50 this year. With that comes a little introspection, looking back and looking ahead.
Yes.
When I look back at my resume, in some ways it makes no sense. I did college ministry for 9 years, school fundraising for 4, and Barnhart Crane and Rigging for 13 now. The themes of every one of those where I found joy, delight, in a way to serve that I hope has an impact is around people. And so this is what I want to do. And this is where I want to be also. You can do things in so many different places. You can be at a place and do so many different things. But this is the place I want to be, and this is what I want to be doing.
Well, you said joy and delight, and joy is certainly different than happiness.
Yeah.
And the Lord's got you in the right spot for sure. You're really good at people. I'm not so much, obviously. I mean, I'm an outgoing guy, kind of gregarious and upfront. I got it, but I always tell. We've laughed about this. I go home at night sometimes like I'm out of words. I'm just tired of talking all day long. And I'm wired all
that
day
actually
long.
happens, Judd.
Yeah, I know. It's like
I don't believe that, Judd. But yes, continue.
But I can see Alan kind of created this role for you. Is that correct? Am I saying that right?
No, I mean, it was a strategic need that the company had.
Yes, but kind of, we would have never done this on our own volition, I wouldn't say, without somebody like Alan that sees a bigger picture and knows people are so important.
Yeah.
That's why y'all are here. I mean, seriously.
Yeah.
At the end of this podcast's got to be titled something about people, because it's the bottom foundational layer, right, that builds all this up.
Yeah.
And we've got 2 great people in the roles that are doing it right for us. So
well,
I hope it continues for a long time. At 50, you've probably got like maybe another year or 2, and that's all you can do.
That's what I was saying.
Let's hope there's more
not.
than 50. Golly.
Yeah.
I will say he's the only man that I know that throws himself a birthday party and is all in for it. So
every year
51, everybody at Barnhart will get a Stout invitation. You're welcome.
When I turned 40, my wife threw a party, and I thought I had so much fun at this that I've been doing it for myself ever since.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You need to have John Walker come out and do we can do the fish fry.
Yeah. So
I like it. Let's plan Kevin, just like the Sunday.
Yeah.
I'm going to plan Kevin's party. It's going to be awesome. 51.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, we'll have a big party for Kevin's 51st.
Thank you. Yes.
When is it?
August.
Everybody load that in your Facebook. August, Kevin Stout.
In your Facebook.
In your Facebook thing. In your face. I don't know.
This is the 57-year-old. So 58.
Almost 59. Yeah. I don't even know what Reddit is. I've heard about it. I've never even seen it. And I get blocked every time I go on Instagram here.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Thanks, IT.
Just saying. Not that I'm on it all day.
This is taking a sharp turn.
Anyway, again, thank you guys so much for being here.
Yep.
Again, we're in great hands with guys like you.
Appreciate it.
Folks like you. And I love the Canadian connection. Again, I've really developed a good relationship with you and then like Susan Roussel.
Mm-hmm.
Man, y'all we're probably one of the best acquisitions we've ever had,
Mm-hmm.
just because of the talent that we got from you guys. So
Yeah. And shout out to Susan as well. I mean, she's done a great job, and so thankful for
and Denny, I mean, they are
Yeah.
helping us build the project management training process, and where I would just sit there and scratch my head like, I don't know what I'm doing. They're just like, just kick it out, kick it out, kick it out. They're just killing it. So I love that.
Yeah. And thank you to you, Mallory. I know that even when Judd was asking the question earlier about what do you miss, moving from your home country where you've been for your whole life, that's no light work. And so thank you for trusting us, working so well, and being here. So we're very thankful for your commitment and your hard work.
I appreciate
for
that.
both you and Stephen being here with us.
We are happy to be here. And like I told you when I came over, if I'm coming, I'm not leaving. So you're welcome.
Yay!
She's in. Yes.
All righty. Hey, thanks again for being on the podcast. Loved the conversation. Very fun, very entertaining too. But again, we're looking forward for a great future with our company, with guys like you leading the company. So, hey, thanks for watching. This has been a Lift and Lead podcast. I'm your host, Judd Parker. And remember, focus when you lift and serve when you lead.